Hasan is effing terrified now. More Pegasus. Let's
Welcome
go.
back to a series so iconic, even Scooby-Doo subscribed. In today's video, Asmongold is officially back to streaming. Hasan is having a complete meltdown. He's calling out Asmon for not serving in the US Army, calling him a couch potato. He's mad at Asmongold for having the most common sense take about the military, saying they should have high standards. He's now calling out Tectone, saying he is actually the reason he didn't go to TwitchCon.
What? Tectone's not going to TwitchCon. Tectone is off on a break. He's been off for a while. He's not doing anything. He's relaxed. And he's got some of the most lukewarm takes ever. Like, Hasan is a bitch. He should go to TwitchCon. I was waiting for this moment for Asmongold to come back to streaming after grieving for his father. Rest in peace, Asmongold's dad and everything. We miss ya. We miss ya, Pa. But I was waiting for Asmon to come back because I knew Hasan would be. He would get a little nervous. He would be, the rented apartment would have its tenant back in his head. Hasan, Asmon lives rent-free in his head, so Hasan needs his rival, quote-unquote. I actually had tuned into Asmon's first live stream back, and that day he had, on Twitch, he had like 40, at the time I looked, it was 44,000 viewers, and Hasan had almost roughly the same on Twitch. However, Asmon also had almost 10k over on Kick. It was at 94, 96 something over there when I looked. So yeah, it wasn't like the start of the stream or anything. It was midway through it. But yeah, I had to go over and peek at it to see. But like, Hasan blaming Tectone for him not going to TwitchCon is just a bitch move. Hasan just doesn't want to go to TwitchCon.
Tectone has responded. Destiny has responded. Hasan is once again melting down over slop-tubers, this time going after Rev for making videos about him.
I saw this tweet from Hasan, or this post from Hasan, or related for it. It was just like, wow, this slop-tuber thinks about me all the time. Are they okay? And it's like, actually, no. They're just trying to show each and every day. It's like, no, they're not dragging the same things through the mud. They are showing a new one each and every time. It's fucked.
Rev has responded, and Mike from PA is back to humiliate himself. Hasan is now asking the US military to disobey orders and go to jail, saying that their life sucks anyways, so it doesn't matter. Subscribe,
oh, yeah.
or you gotta go through Dan Clay.
Hasan joining the group of people who are in the, I'm just gonna sit there and tell the army, no, you should disobey your orders. Like, no, they have a sworn duty to protect the country from all threats, foreign and domestic. So, the domestic threat is now you, Hasan. Don't become one that they take care of and protect the rest of us from. Because Hasan's on that boat. And, you get to see speaking Dan Clancy here making jokes against him, but we got less than a week until Dan Clancy is testifying before Congress. I believe it's October 8th. That'll be great. It'll be a great day to sit back, relax, and watch everything unfold. I am so excited for it. He's going to have to admit that, yeah, he's allowed anti-Semitism and terroristic support prosper on his platform. And then he's probably going to have to be required by Congress to enforce every rule to a T and not have all those anti-Semitism and terroristic support, meaning he'll probably have to ban Hasan.
Clancy's PC. Congrats, you're now blind. Back to you, Jellywig.
Let's up those numbers!
Hasan thinks Trump
Indeed.
and Hegseth's military
Speaking of up in numbers, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button while you're down there too.
speeches were for people like Asmongold.
And go like more Pegasus's video too.
not the generals. Right, so quick context, Hasan is talking about the US military, and they have some new policy where they're basically no longer cutting standards for women or minorities in the army.
Based. Extra W right there.
Basically, they will have to reach the same top standard fitness level as the men if they want to qualify, because, it's a life and death scenario, I guess.
I'm not sexist. I'm not anything against anyone. If a mission requires a certain individual of a certain status, size, and everything, you have to pick the best qualified for that one. There actually could be missions that require a smaller individual, and in that case, you might find the handful of most badass women you can find because they can fit into the smaller spaces and areas of their mission parameters. Not everybody's perfect for every mission. However, a lot of our missions in our military require a certain level of strength. And that level of strength just, we don't need to lower the standard for equality's sake. There is no equality in the military. There is just a standard that needs to be met.
And somehow he's brought up Asmongold.
Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position. The sooner we have the right people, the sooner we can advance the right policies. Personnel is policy. But I look out at this group.
Why did they film this? Why do you think? Because this is not for the generals. This is for the general public. This is for the Asmongolds. This is for the couch potatoes who will never serve, but have developed.
Wasn't Hasan brought to America so he wouldn't have to serve in the Turkish army? Mr. Couch Potato Hasan.
This false notion in their minds that the mother.
Actually, I can't insult him. He's actually that is one area of Hasan's life that he is excelling at, is his physical fitness. He actually, does the right thing. He moves around enough throughout his day, getting enough exercise, and he eats relatively right. We can see him day to day eating on stream.
U.S. military has been brain broken by woke. These are the people who looked at Mark Milley saying, of course he's Red Mao. He must understand the enemy, and went, oh my God, he's a woke transgender Marks Milley. We have to fire him. That's who this is for. These guys are so stupid. They literally think that the American military was running around being yeah, we just got to be woke now. We have to be woke. It's so stupid.
Right, so he's calling out Asmongold for not serving in the US Army. I mean, okay, he's a gaming streamer who happens to body you in politics in his.
And also, Asmon has family who did serve in the military. Did you, Hasan? What family of yours served in the military in recent history? Hasan had his dad, and Tectone also had his dad. Both of them were on the podcast that they had together. I missed that podcast, Steak and Eggs. I want it back, please. But your fan base, Hasan, bullied that podcast out of existing because of one of the members, Emaru, who I loved it when they got into gaming topics, and she got to geek out a bit too. Because otherwise, yeah, it was a Hasan Tectone, or a Asmongold Tectone podcast. And yeah, Hasan and his fan base fully fucking ruined it. Just because Emaru was now associated with Asmon and Hasan, so she got bullied.
Pastime. But my question is, when the fuck has Hasan himself served in anything? So what are you even talking about? You're calling him a couch potato who will never serve, but then you are the exact same as him. You are a Twitch streamer. Okay, the difference is, he doesn't support terrorists, but
Yeah, there's this terroristic support coming up right there for the Houthi.
You are a Twitch streamer who spends 10 hours.
That's the guy who's got his favorite flag is the Hezbollah.
Hours a day sitting at your computer. That is the definition of a couch potato. And I don't know why he's acting like he's ever been on the front lines. He might be talking about that one protest that he actually went to where they shot a rubber bullet into the crowd and then he randomly went, well, the officer shot me. Like, no, Hasan, that does not count as them targeting you, and that does not count as you actually taking part in a battle, even though you want to LARP as a revolutionary. Tectone responded, Asmon's been gone for nearly a month and Hasan's love for him is as strong as ever.
This is great. Tectone in his time off, he's just become a Twitter addict, and I love it. I love that he's handling his boredom in some way. I just think he should handle it without technology if he's gonna, do this, a little bit of a cleanse of the internet from him uploading, video content outside of, 1 and 2 vlog style things he's done.
So romantic. Hopefully Hasan doesn't get C-word all over his keyboard from excitement when Asmon returns later this week. Hasan will be having a dedicated
Hasan did.
gooning
His
session.
keyboard, he needed to replace that keyboard.
I decided to check out the full context of the clip that Hasan was malding out over Asmongold, and it's even worse than I thought. This guy is apparently mad at the most common sense military requirements ever.
Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already. War does not care if you're a man or a woman. Neither does the enemy.
Simple. If you're in the military, you should be physically fit. Yeah, I don't want a fat warfighter. I want fit warfighters.
Nor does the weight of your rucksack, the size of an artillery round, or the body weight of a casualty on the battlefield who must be carried. This is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world.
Yeah, there was one of the B-2 bomber pilots, or I believe a whole crew of one of the B-2 bombers was female pilots, and that was awesome.
But when it comes to any job that requires physical power...
And what is Hasan doing back there? Is he threatening his dog or something?
To perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is.
That poor dog has to sit there and listen to him for hours a day.
This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus...
Dude, this is literally the fantasy of... This is like having a couch guy...
This is like Nazi, because they're Hitlers.
Run the military. Okay, this is the opinion of a guy who never served from the outside. Like, not saying that he hasn't, he was in the National Guard, but like this is literally the areas where you see this kind of attitude most commonly represented are the dudes who wear like the grunt force outfits, who are themselves fat as shit and never actually served or failed out of basic, right? And the guys who were like, oh man, I was gonna serve, but life had other priorities for me. But like this,
Hasan, you're the guy who reportedly was swinging a gun around on stream, got away with it, and claiming, oh no, it was airsoft, because either you're too pussy to have a real gun, or you're what? You're gonna commit a crime by threatening someone on stream, waving a gun around a bit. Like, come on, which end is it? Is the military here? Yo, Asmon's a couch potato because he didn't go serve. He didn't go overseas and get himself killed. Because that's what Hasan really wants to say. We all know. We all know he wants to encourage some more violence like the radical leftist he is.
This is exactly what the military should represent. Yeah. Like this is such a crazy thing to watch. It's such a crazy thing to watch unfold. Yeah, baby, let's go. The military, we're bringing strength back to our soldiers, to our brave warriors, man.
Dude, honestly, why is this guy acting like he has 10 years in the military? Buddy, you haven't done shit. How are you possibly talking this much trash? So let me get this straight. Hasan,
he's got 10 years on the front lines of Twitch. He's been 10 years against the viewers.
is mad that they want high standards in the military. I mean, from the statements I heard, it didn't really seem like discrimination or anything. Obviously, they just pointed out that the enemy doesn't care if you're like a woman or minority. You still need the fitness levels of a top tier man, right? You need to be as competent as everybody else. And if they actually lower the standards for something like the army, something so important, you're gonna fucking die because, you know, you're gonna get tired out. You're not gonna move.
You're only as strong as the trooper next to you, so hopefully the guy standing next to you is pretty strong too. Because if you happen to get shot in a combat zone, I hope the guy next to you knows how to patch your wound or defend you while you patch your own wound. Like, come on. We need all the troops to have a certain standard, know a certain amount of knowledge, and be able to do a certain amount of things.
In time, you're not going to be able to carry as much stuff or whatever, and a variety of things. I mean, this stuff is just common sense to me, at least. And what people like Hasan always fail to realize is that these are the people who are actually protecting your rights, right? The fact that Hasan can sit in a $3 million mansion talking shit is because the military is actually protecting him, right? He wants this communist utopia or whatever.
Yeah, without that military, I wonder if the LA riots would have burned his house down back during the ICE riots earlier this year. Like, would that have escalated bigger and have gotten out of hand? Could Hasan's house have been at risk? Oh, one could only dream. Kidding. Totally kidding.
And he's making fun of soldiers, as we'll see later in this video as well.
Dog, you're already in the fucking military. What do you mean? Your life is already dog shit. Okay, you get thrown in the fucking brig for like a couple weeks maximum, okay?
So then he calls out Asmongold's tweet again for agreeing with this very common sense take.
What is
it's
this? And
the
not
best
a moment
take
too
ever.
soon. Women should not have ever been in combat roles if they can't meet the standards that men need to meet.
See, I know Hasan's about to turn this into, oh, Asmon just said women shouldn't be in the military. No, his quote specifically says, if they can't meet the standards that men need to meet. I don't care if you're a woman or a man in the military. Just meet the certain level of strength. There are some women who can kick fucking ass. One that comes to mind is Gina Carano. I mean, look at some of the roles she gets for films. She actually does most of her stunts for all that. It's like, who else are you going to find to be her stunt double?
Quality is downstream from life and death. This policy should be applied to police.
There ain't a large list.
Bro, this is it. This is
But
what I
she's
mean.
got the
It's like,
build
this
for
is
it.
for Asmongold and people exactly like Asmongold. That's who he's doing this for. I think this is going to piss off a lot of top brass, okay? Women should not be in the military police force. I will die on this hill. My grandmother was a nurse in World War II. It's where she met my grandfather, who was a pilot. Women can provide value and service to the military, but that doesn't mean we should endanger lives pursuing the false god of equality by giving them lower standards for combat roles. Oh my.
However, in emergency wartime like World War II, there was a lot. It was easier to do it back then, but there was a lot of fraud, a lot of big stories that came out of people who entered the war when they were like 16, 17, even like, a couple weeks before 18, they just happened to run away from home just because home sucked, and they went to join the military because, well, at least they were going to get, fed, clothed, and have, pay. They'd get money. They'd get paid for their service. And a lot of them, some of them were like, oh yeah, we don't meet the standards for some of this stuff. But hey, because it was wartime, a lot of those standards did get skipped. But did that mean it's a good thing? No. Did the outcome become good? Yeah. Well, should we, in peacetime, train as hard as we can with the best of we can? Yes, we should.
God. Oh, God. And Clean says thank you. Ugh. Asmon couldn't even meet the standards of women. Yeah, I mean, he would be the first to say, oh, yeah, that's why I'm not
Hasan can't meet the standards of women.
serving. That's why I'm serving my country
That's why he pays for pussy.
by being a Twitch streamer.
Okay, first off, Asmon never said that he would serve in the army. I don't think he wants to be on the front lines. I think even he would agree that he's not qualified, nor does he want to, right? But I love how Hasan pretends that he himself is not a Twitch streamer at all. I know he thinks he's like some
I'm a journalist. I'm a independent media Hassan Piker. I'm not just a Twitch streamer, even though that's all he does. He's a Twitch streamer, podcaster.
Communist
That's it.
god, some revolutionary king, leader of socialism, man of the people, but you're just a fucking overpaid, shitty Twitch streamer, and you're like a virus
And I can't wait until he's no longer a Twitch streamer because they're forced to ban his ass.
on society at this point with all these takes. And I love how he read out Asmon's tweet and he cannot point out a single thing that is actually wrong with it because it's a
Nope.
perfectly reasonable take. So he basically said that women shouldn't be in combat roles if, keyword if, they cannot
They can't meet the
standards
standards that men need to meet.
which is a perfectly reasonable thing to actually want, right? It is not sexist unless you're a blundering moron like Hasan, right?
Yep.
This is literally protecting them and other people as well. If you're not fast enough, strong enough, competent enough, you are basically endangering your fellow soldiers and your
Exactly.
fellow policemen. If you're a firefighter and you need to carry a, full-grown man outside a burning building, and you can't do that because of the lowered standards, right, during recruitment, that is costing people lives. It is a
Exactly.
perfectly reasonable and
Everything based on merit and if you can do it and how well you can do it. If you can't do it, you shouldn't be doing it. Anything across the board, every job, doesn't matter the industry, everything.
fair thing to expect equality in positions where life and death is actually at hand. Only idiots like Hasan would actually have a problem with this and make it into some woke issue of this is probably oppression, guys. Shut the fuck up, you privileged piece of shit. Now remember last time how Hasan said that he's not going to TwitchCon to keep people safe, and Destiny called him out
Yeah,
for
that's
LARPing
such-
as a revolutionary, and then Hasan responded saying he didn't go because he implied that he was targeted and shot at an ICE protest, which is verifiably false. Well, now he's blaming Tectone. He's changed his story here. Hasan says a big reason why he's not going to TwitchCon is because of people like Tectone.
Bro went to the LA riots, but TwitchCon is too much for him. Yeah,
You're-
exactly.
Do you hear the words coming out of your own mouth, Hasan? You are absolutely stupid. You could go down to the LA riots literally committing a crime while blocking a highway with a group of individuals. But you can't go sit at TwitchCon with the security guards around you because Twitch 100% would give you security if you asked.
Goes to show that obviously for me, it's not a matter of my own fucking safety. It's a matter of the safety of others. And also, what do
Yeah.
you mean you created this beat?
I'd be more afraid of any Hasan fan. I would be afraid of meeting any single one Hasan fan rather than if I had to meet every single Asmongold and Tectone fan. I think I would be much safer with meeting every single one of them than meeting a single Hasan viewer.
It's ironic because this is quite literally part of the reason why I think like some dumb who's a Tone fan is going to take matters in their own hands because they're like, oh, I know Hasan is going to
Oh, I can't wait for the defamation case that Tectone throws at Hasan's ass for calling him a rapist, pedophile, everything so long. It's like, dude, are you serious? If Hasan doesn't like someone, they're either a Hitler, a Nazi, they're anti-Semitic, or, they're a pedophile, a rapist. It's like everything that, like, okay, at this point, call us that. You'll make it lose all meaning, and we'll just say, okay, and?
I'm going to fucking make a name for myself and then accidentally end up shooting a bunch of other fucking people that are attending TwitchCon. That's the reason why I'm not going.
Okay, dude, this guy's actually disgusting, man. So he's not going apparently because he's afraid a Tectone fan is going to try to shoot him, but then they are so incompetent that they're going to miss and shoot a bunch of other people. By the way,
Hasan, your side's the one who wants to shoot people. That's why they did it already.
way, that is literally what happened with that ice shooter.
And that guy,
this is
too.
another case of projection from Hasan here. But I feel like Hasan doesn't really have to worry about that, because luckily for him, the other side is not remotely as crazy and violent as his radical extremist terrorist supporting side, right? So we just want...
Yeah, there's about, polling said 24% of far leftists would resort to political violence, while only 3% of the same age range would resort to political violence as well, of conservatives on the other side. It's like the far right and the far left are a much farther distance of violence now. I think all crime stats in this country should be required to be reported upon properly and looked upon exactly case by case. Body cam footage required for it all. Body cam footage should be required to be worn by cops of blue states at all times, just because, well, that they'll protect everyone that way. Every state at all times, actually. Everybody should have that full protection of the body cam.
...to face the regular consequences of your actions through the appropriate legal channel.
And then we have the protection on the other side of the law, where we can see, oh, proper stats.
Now, you want your opponents dead, as you've said multiple times. Murder those mother flippers, red capitalist blood, K. Rick Scott, shank these people, whatever, right? Yeah. So it is your opponents who should actually be afraid. Obviously, Charlie Kirk was his debate opponent who got shot as well. So I don't know how he finds...
Yeah, Hasan, the day or so Charlie Kirk got shot, it might have been the day after, but Hasan was like, I was literally supposed to debate him in 3 weeks. Like, in the tone of, now what am I going to do? Like, he made it about himself again. He's the biggest narcissist on Twitch. Well, okay, Pirate Software still streams. He's the second biggest.
It's a way to always play victim. Like, any opponent gets shot, Hasan is a victim. Hasan is a victim always. Another man dies, Hasan is the victim. You can't make this shit up. Also, he said grape tone once again, still continuing the shtick of slandering people day after day.
Yep.
Hasan, why do people hate me, Piker, cannot seem to figure out this riddle here. Cannot grasp that it's actually wrong to call people, names like rapists without proof, because it can be life-ruining. Also, can this guy stop acting like an empathetic deity? Like, oh, it's not a matter of my own safety, guys. I'm just so concerned about...
It's not about me, guys. It's about you. Are the ones who would be around me.
Other people. I, Hasan Biker, the narcissist, am so concerned about other people. I feel like even if you showed this clip to iDubbbz, he would be embarrassed. He's like, okay, I'm the king of empathy here, and even I'm embarrassed, and I don't buy this shit, right? I mean, if you want to be a pussy or whatever, at least admit it or whatever, right? I don't blame him for protecting himself or whatever, but just...
Yeah, I blame Hasan and the entire rhetoric that he spews for every single Twitch streamer who's afraid to go to TwitchCon. And more so, I don't blame exactly Hasan. I also blame Twitch itself for allowing everything to continue being spewed and allowing Hasan to continue talking and breaking, like, every rule that they have about... Yeah, he just breaks all their rules. All their terms of service in violation after violation after violation, and the dude should be perma-banned by now.
Stop blaming it on some random other people who have nothing to do with the situation, right? Then he reads and agrees with the chatter saying that people are basically blaming him for death threats.
How are people blaming you for your own stalking and death threats? I mean, this is proof as to why, it doesn't make sense for me to fucking go to TwitchCon. This is like the whole point. This is literally the reason. Like, what kind of...
I created a violent group of fans, and now I don't want to go meet my violent group of fans.
Statement is this? And it's such a crazy situation, because like
crazy
I
how that works.
A public statement about it so that I discourage psychos from fucking attending. And meanwhile, I'm making a public statement about it, making it clear that it's not about even my own personal safety, but the safety of others, because of people like.
It would be a good idea if Twitch was a better platform, but instead of like not going, just having everybody who's conservative, on the right, or not on the left, and they're closer to the middle area, all of those guys just go flood TwitchCon and make all the lefties uncomfortable for being there all of a sudden. And it's like, oh, there's a lot more of you than we thought. It would be interesting. But Twitch is a shitty platform, so I don't think it deserves any money unless massive changes internally happen.
Tone because of this kind of sentiment that you hear all over the internet.
Bro, how is he doing this? It's actually so frustrating. So he is the violent person. He is the one encouraging violence on a regular basis. Nobody else has actually done that. Maybe your buddy Destiny, of course, your best friend. I feel like it's just incredible, the mental gymnastics.
Destiny, the self-admitted guy with who's got child sexual assault material on his computer. He's got child porn on there. And he said, my lawyer told me to keep it. Even though I guarantee you that's not at all anything, and no lawyer in their sane mind would tell you to keep child porn on your computer. They would say, hey, if you have that, you should probably put it on a flash drive and seal it in like an envelope or something labeled. No. They wouldn't want you to have that accessible. They would want that tucked away, like locked.
You have to do to reach this conclusion where it's actually Tectone's fault that he feels unsafe, as if Tectone has ever called for violence for Hasan or anything like that. In fact, if you look at Tectone's video, he's actually said the opposite and wished Hasan well and told him to be safe. But of course, Hasan will ignore that and blame him and slander him daily because he does not care about courtesy given by the other side or them being a good person. He has branded this person as somebody bad and somebody who should be hated, and now he's weaponizing his audience against him, saying that, okay, the reason I'm not going to TwitchCon is because of Tectone, guys. You should all go and hate on Tectone, right? You don't want to be in Hasan's crosshairs, obviously.
He's literally trying to weaponize his audience to go attack Tectone, and if you give him enough days, he'll probably toss Asmongold in there with him, but he's using Tectone right now as his target, and it's like he's trying to throw his audience to go be mad at Tectone at, oh, you're the reason why I don't get to go meet Hasan at TwitchCon. I wanted to meet Hasan at TwitchCon, but now it's Tectone's fault that I can't do that. I guarantee you that's what he's trying to do to his audience.
He's got the violent psychopaths in his audience, of course. Tectone responded with just a smiley face. I imagine he's going to be responding or something. Holy shit, Hasan is actually the biggest piece of shit. He is the one with the terrorist propaganda calling for murders and accusing people of rape. If anyone watching anyone is going to get violent, it is a Hasan viewer. Absolutely. Haven't seen Tectone advocate violence towards you. Victims crying dipshit. He's such a cry bully. It's actually crazy. Here we are in 2025 going back and forth over who's at fault for hypothetical situations, for events that haven't even happened yet. Just don't go and shut the fuck about it. Hasan cannot do that, okay? He has to cry and bitch about absolutely everything. Hasan publicly supports terrorists. He's not going to TwitchCon because people are rightfully not okay with the literal terrorists being at the event. Yeah, it would be a pretty big problem if one of Hasan's buddies came up and showed up, you know? Tectone responds to Hasan placing blame on him and his...
Maybe he should invite that Houthi guy he interviewed on it to come meet him at TwitchCon. That he could be up on stage with him, interview him in person. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? That'd be a fun little event that Twitch could host and stick banners up at behind it on the panel. They would love to be a part of a terrorist interview.
Fans for making him feel unsafe at TwitchCon. He made a tweet, Hasan,
and that's assuming that the U.S. military and the Israeli military hasn't killed his Houthi friend yet.
Made an entire video to express how much I'm against anyone enacting violence on behalf of me, just as a precautionary due to the political climate. Of course, Hasan did not acknowledge that at all. I even name dropped you specifically because even though you slander, lie, badmouth, and defame me effing constantly, I still don't wish any harm against you, nor do I wish anyone to do that to you or anyone like you. You can't even go live and say terrorism is bad. Pathetic ass mother flipper. Like, I don't know why Tectone has been brought into this as well. Like, I swear to God, it's just the most random shit. He makes like one tweet and then Hasan starts mauling over it. It's legitimate, like he legit just hates this guy. Once again, techie owning Hamas Diddy, Adolf Bin Laden,
and Epstein Smollett.
Feet Piker.
This just keeps getting longer. I love this joke. Oh, it used to just be Hamas Diddy, Piker, then it was Hamas Diddy Adolf Bin Laden Piker, and then they threw the Epstein in, and now we've got Smollett, Petite Feet. This just is so good.
Right. Anyways, Destiny jumps in, responds, throws shots at Tectone while pondering why Hasan would be scared of Tectone's audience at TwitchCon.
He's scared of Tectone fans?
Yeah, even Destiny's confused, and Destiny has like half a brain cell.
This is literally the reason. Like, what kind of fucking statement is this? And it's such a crazy situation because, like, you know, I have to make.
Like, didn't Tectone lose like a third or a half of his audience when the fucking Viewbot thing went down? What, is he afraid that a bunch of Roombas are going to show up and assassinate him? What the fuck is he talking about?
Well, it seems like Hasan can't seem to get his story straight. According to Hasan, Tectone has all this influence to get people to be violent, but apparently he also has no influence at the same time, and his audience is filled with bots, so he literally cannot decide here. Anyways, as usual, Destiny's only reasonable when it comes to Hasan. In every other scenario, he's just as regarded as him. I will say he's definitely braver than Hasan, though. He's still going out in public and doing.
If you told me I was about to be in a plane crash on an island, and I had 2 surviving options, and I literally had to choose one of these 2, and it was Hasan or Destiny, I would choose Destiny over Hasan, because at least that guy has more than a half a brain cell. Hasan has dug himself so deep that if he doesn't keep up with his uber leftist persona, he'll lose his entire audience and he'll have no one to fall back on.
Events or whatever, but also he wants conservatives dead, so, you know, take what you can get, I suppose. Destiny continues, doesn't think that Hasan cares about trans or social issues.
Even recognize I'm right. Vote for me. I will deal with the trans people with the integrity necessary. So not only do you look hypocritical, but you end up fucking losing for that reason. Because you can never defeat the Republicans on hate mongering. You just can't. The second part of
Why this guy doesn't give a fuck about any of these social issues. If you're a trans person and you take any like direction from Hasan, you're actually such a fucking loser. You're like one of the boutique trans.
As some would say, if you are a trans person watching Hasan, you're fucking retarded.
Who have like the facial feminization surgery and the $50 million body mods and everything. You're so far removed from any actual like trans stuff. You're basically like a showpiece for fucking tankies or whatever. It's actually so fucking cringe. I can't imagine like a real life human being ever looking to this guy for social issues. This is like exclusively if you want to do like the tanky class shit. It's so cringe when he LARPs on social issues after, like, we've seen clips of him saying literally like the social issues are just memes. These are just things that people dangle in front of you to distract you. Ugh.
Listen, I've pointed this out before. Hasan only cares about trans people if they are communist terrorists like him. Then he's a big fan. Otherwise, obviously, they're far-right Nazis and he doesn't give a shit about them, right? It's all performative. Yep. He just wants to get as many people on his side as possible by pretending to care about like minority groups or whatever. Nobody's really buying the shit except Hasan's subhuman IQ audience who thinks he supports trans rights while supporting Hezbollah. It's like, it doesn't make any sense, obviously.
Yeah, you can't have any support for any LGBTQ, etc. full alphabet letters group if you are a terrorist supporter. Because those two ideologies will never get along in any level of utopian societies that either of them would dream of.
Anyways, moving on to Hasan calling out Rev. Rev is another commentary YouTuber who's made quite a few videos on Hasan. Hasan asks why Rev says Desu is so obsessed with him. Holy shit, is this guy okay? Somebody tweeted, and people ask me why I don't cover Rev on my channel as often as anymore. The guy's content is so boring. Speaking of Rev yapping about Hasan, here's an image compiling all the videos he's made about Hasan in his orbiter so far, and there's a bunch of videos. Hasan responds, holy shit, is this guy okay? Okay, first off, this is child's play. Come on, get on my level, pal. This is newbie numbers. Second off, Hasan, we know you're watching every single episode. Stop pretending, oh my god, I can't believe you made this. You're glued to the screen. You're watching every single video. You're watching this video right now, vigorously jacking it to your name even being mentioned. All right, calm down. You're gonna run out of gooning rags, all right? And Dan Clancy will be very mad at you, okay? So stop it. Stop pretending like you're above all of this, all right? You are actually the true figurative king of the slop, all right? I just temporarily took that name. Third off, this is literally our job and our hobby. We are literally getting rich off your unlimited stupidity. Why would we stop? Literally, why would we stop?
Yeah.
Thank you. honestly. Thank you for being so unlimitedly
The day Hasan is officially banned and no longer is a lolcow of the internet to laugh at will be a little bit of a bittersweet day. It'll be great to never have to see or hear him again, but it'll be sad that we don't get to make fun of him anymore. 'Cause he's truly dumb. He's truly absolutely gone off the deep end. He is so far into the leftist radical end of the pool that his only escape is going to be jail.
dumb. Rev responds, and I would ask, has he considered not saying dumb things on a daily basis? He's just free real estate at this point. And this is what I've been talking about. Literally just stop being an idiot for one day and I would have no content. Literally no content. This is a fresh stack of bread you prepare every single day of me in order to deliver me a new paycheck. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Nuts responds,
Yep.
each of those videos represents a different
legitimate reason to deport Hasan.
Not sure this is the
This
dunk
is the dunk Hasan thinks it is.
Doesn't Hasan talk about Destiny all day, every day or something? Well, don't ask Hasan how much he's actually made videos on Trump, for example, or other people, for example, because this logic only applies to Hasan's detractors. If you consider the fact that he's made like 1 billion videos on Trump, or any of his like allies have done the same thing, that doesn't count, guys. That doesn't count. Not even close.
Hasan's got such a level of Trump derangement syndrome that his singular brain cell decided it wanted to fuck itself, and maybe it could, hang out with the cum shot it created.
To the level of Pegasus, whom Hasan won't even call out by name. 125 video. Well, to be fair, they're not all Hasan. All right, they're not all Hasan. It is the Hasan and Friends saga. All right, and a lot of them are our pal iDubbbz.
Loser.
A lot of them are, Mike from PA, Dead M's, Casey Tron, etc., etc. There are quite a few on Hasan too. This is what some people like him do. You can't engage with criticism of the content and just prefer to call you obsessed as a way to downplay you, which only works for the lowest common denominator of people, which is Hasan's community, in my opinion.
It appears that your boy has been called out by who else but Hasan Piker, who is concern troll.
Mustard bin Laden, Adolf Epstein, Smollett Piker.
Asking, referring to me, if I'm okay. Of course, all of this is referring to the fact that I've made many videos
Well, Rev, are you okay?
on Hasan Piker, as I should. That's kind of in my job description, right? This is a guy
At this point,
who is running amok. He is someone who is saying things that are not only violating the Twitch TOS, in many cases, he's violating the law.
Oh yeah,
There's
he's
a
violated
reason why
California
someone like me
law
talks about him
and federal law
so
a
much.
few times.
I don't want to. If this guy stops acting like a psychopath.
And the crazier part is he films his own crimes. That is like, one of those things I'm looking over at like, what is the psychopath doing?
If he stopped advocating for political violence and stops just being a really crazy person, people like me would have no reason to talk about him. And I am not ashamed. In fact, I think I should make more videos.
Exactly.
Because he deserves it.
I'll make
Is this
more
guy
too.
Okay?
Is this guy
Doing
okay?
More than okay, man.
Is Hasan
I don't
okay?
have to do 10
Well, that's
hour
good, Rev.
daily political streams.
I'm very happy that you're okay not doing 10-hour daily political streams like Hasan. Hasan is a guy who is obviously not okay.
I don't have to cater to an audience. I'm not captured by an audience that demands calls for violence. This is Hasan's life. He is audience captured. He has to continue to promote political violence because his deranged fans would be upset if he didn't.
That's actually a good point. The thing is, one of Hasan's streams is 10 hours of content just mauling at people like Asmongold, Tectone, Ethan, and stuff like that. And 10 hours is like 20 of my videos. So technically, you can say, oh, I've made all these videos on Hasan, but that's literally 5 of his streams. That's literally, if you add up the time, do the math, it's like 5 of his streams, right? So I don't know why Hasan is acting surprised that people make videos on him. He is an absolute menace who needs to be stopped.
He is a clown, and we will laugh. Let's laugh at this clown.
we are actually doing God's work here, all right? If there are borderline criminals running around in society, you need to report them to the authorities. If there are people spreading this amount of lies, slander, propaganda, terrorist support, just all these horrible values and trying to, corrupt society, you want to actually counteract, right? Spread actually good values, expose the truth. Make sure people actually don't go down the wrong path in life, right? End up becoming Hasan fans and then future terrorists, right?
Yeah.
Right, so then Rev points out the hypocrisy.
If I ever have children one day, hopefully I do, but I hope they grow up to be something good of themselves and not a Hasan fan.
And then apparently terminal simp Mike from PA jumps in.
But of course, he calls me obsessed. Well, of course,
You know what would be the biggest Chad move Asmongold could ever do? Is, show some kind of beautiful looking girlfriend on stream in front of everybody and be like, yeah, actually, this is also what I did in my time off. I started a relationship. Girlfriend name. And then Hasan's like, the hell? How'd he do that? He doesn't even shower. Does she know he doesn't shower? And then he just tried to insult Asmongold's hygiene again. It's like, yeah, he might not have the best routine, but also, like Asmon's dad said on said podcast that I miss, he doesn't smell because he doesn't do anything. He sits in one spot.
most of his content and his streams have been dedicated to individuals like Asmongold, who he continues to talk about despite the fact that Asmongold is on a break. He's on a hiatus, and he still talks about him basically every day. We're not even talking about Destiny, for example. He talks about him on a near daily basis. But of course, what is this guy doing? What is the issue with Hasan? This is someone who only a day ago posted this on Instagram. The song, Bella Ciao, while he's deadlifting with horrible form, by the way. This is the anthem.
For those who don't know, Bella Ciao being the Italian song for against the Nazis, against fascism.
Of Antifa, a designated terrorist organization. He is stoking the flames. This is the guy asking, "Are you okay, dude?" The second you stop talking.
This is the guy asking the right to tone down the rhetoric. It's the same part of that group.
About insane stuff. The second you stop advocating for political violence, the second you stop sharing messages like this, we will stop talking about you. But anyways, apparently this tweet brought out the usual suspects. Mike from PA saying, "It's so funny how little motion this stuff gets," referring to my videos. First of all, this is Mike from PA. All right, never let him forget. This is him.
So the guy pays for my tab.
I think I'm getting your attention. I touched
If this was me in this clip, I would want this buried from the internet as hard as I could bury it. I would literally pay this channel to take this video down. If I were him, I would want this so far buried that no one ever sees it again. And it's like, come on, this you couldn't waterboard this clip out of me if that's for me. Like, no.
Can I help you?
Nice motion you got there, brother. Lack of motion. Dude, your last YouTube video has 400 views. And you interviewed Alyssa Mercante of all people. Lack of motion? This is a lack of motion, dude. Embarrassing.
Oh my god, dude. Where did that cockroach even come
Hey, let's get me more views than Mike from PA. Let's go. Subscribe and like. Let's beat him here.
from? Brother needs a gym membership and deodorant ASAP, okay? I don't know why these people love comparing clout so much. It's honestly embarrassing. First off, your ideas are not determined by your view count. Obviously, Hasan is living proof that you can be a complete idiot, complete lack, disregard for the truth, complete moron, and still have a large fan base, right? But these people always want to compare clout so bad, and they always do it with people they are going to get bodied by. So I just don't understand. It is pathetic and sad. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least win, right? At least win. It's like when Hasan says, "Oh my god, guys, I almost have the same amount of viewers as Asmongold. Oh, also don't mind the fact that he's also streaming on 3 other platforms, guys. Just ignore that. Not to mention the 100 times more popular YouTube channel that is conveniently left out, obviously. In fact, Asmon actually left for a month and still got more views every day than Hasan actively posting. So that's how much he's completely just outmatched. Here's the comments on Rev's video. Pegasus in the corner. It should have been me, not him. It's not fair. If you know that Yu-Gi-Oh meme, you're an absolute legend. Goated series, obviously. And yes, Hasan refuses to actually mention me. He would have a stroke and immediately collapse from the absolute epicness of the series. Hasan is the last person who should be talking about obsession. True. Oh my god, he's obsessed with me, says the guy who's in love with Asmongold. Won't stop talking about him. Good friend that Asmongold's back to streaming again. Dude, he was molding when he was gone as well. It's like,
Yeah, I'm so happy Asmon's back. Welcome back. The return of the fucking king. The Roach King himself. I love to see it. You love to see him back.
like, it makes no difference if he's actually there or not. But at least he has some active content now, you know? New content to jack off to for him. When you find gold, you keep digging. Yo, people criticize me for this way too much. Oh my god, you're milking. But you keep watching. You keep watching. You love it. More people like it than hate it. The only people who hate it are rejects on Reddit and Hasan and his degen community. So I don't give a fuck about them. I'm entertaining. You know, I'm enjoying myself. And probably going to be richer than Hasan at this point. So, you know, it's going to be great. Moving on to Hasan asking the military to disobey orders and go to jail, and says that it's fine because it's just jail, guys. And a chatter literally calls him out for this, and he just brushes it off.
And I'm sure there's plenty of military members in here, active duty and former veterans as well. You literally don't have to follow rules that are illegal. They will court-martial you. You will lose your job. You might even be thrown in prison for an extended period of time. But once the legal process goes through, you will be found totally innocent. Like, for example, if tomorrow, let's say Pete Kegstand calls all the generals over and he gives them this like incredible speech and he tells them, you don't have to do this thing. You go to jail. Wait, what? No. I'm saying in the worst instance, like you get court-martialed, you might even be jailed for a brief period of time, but it's still better than participating in a genocide, for example. And many people have done that.
Oh my god. So Hasan's example of someone refusing to participate in a genocide is the old reliable Taylor Swift updates account.
The Taylor Swift updates account. Only the best in information from Hasan. The Taylor Swift updates and freaking Al Jazeera.
You can't make this shit up, bro. Oh my god. I for one totally believe Taylor Swift updates when they say, update, as most of you know, I haven't been very active in the past couple of months because I was in prison. I'm back now though. More Taylor Swift updates coming soon. Oh my god, why? I refuse to join the IDF Lamau. Oh my
god. I didn't want to join the IDF. I didn't want to become a person sitting at a desk and getting paid for a military wage. I just wanted to sit on my social media.
Taylor Swift updates from 2019. Oh my god, I totally believe you, Taylor Swift updates from 2019. But yeah, this is just the Ela Klein situation all over again, where Hasan goes, oh yeah, Ethan's wife should have gone to jail at age 18 and refused to be a secretary in the IDF. And because she didn't actually do that, I will now forever call her a baby killer, terrorist, valid military target for the rest of her life. Classic Hasan right here.
Yeah, I believe Ethan and his wife are now gun-carrying members of the wonderful firearm people, the firearm groups, and it's nice and happy to see them embracing their Second Amendment rights. Very, very good for them. Anyone who wants to embrace their Second Amendment rights, if they're allowed to, they should.
Once again, a reminder, Hasan will not be going to jail himself. He will not be joining you in these efforts. If he was born in Israel, this guy's not going to jail. He's definitely joining the IDF. The soft-ass son of a bitch will not stand by his values, obviously. Every time he gets called out for not standing by his own principles, he's not stopping paying taxes that fund Israel's bombs on Gaza. Complete fucking fraud here.
Yeah, if Hasan really was for the protection of everything and the being against Israel, he would move out of the United States to another country that also doesn't support Israel.
But he wants other people to actually go to jail, right? Also, question, Hasan, since when did you care about the law? You support terrorists, bro. They have no concern for the law. What is wrong with this guy? Then he continues justifying it, saying, just go to jail, guys. It's just really easy. You'll be fine.
Yes, initially you will be, in the interim, you might get criminal punishments within the military courts, but it's far better for you to disobey in advance than to participate in a fucking genocide. It's morally right, and history will absolve you. History will vindicate you 100%. That's it. That's a huge thing in the U.S. military, by the way. I mean, you'll still get punished for it in the interim, but it won't be permanent. Just something to remember. Something to remember for many of you. And before people say easier said than done, dog, you're already in the fucking military. What do you mean? Your life is already dog shit. Okay, you get thrown in the fucking brig for like a couple weeks maximum, okay? Unless they execute you. No, that's not how this works.
Oh no, that's a pretty big slip there. So you're already in the military, so your life is dog shit, and you basically might as well throw it away. So that's basically what Hasan is saying right there, and that's what he thinks about these soldiers literally protecting his life, protecting his privileged ass, sitting in that
Protecting his $3 million mansion.
$1 million mansion. It's just amazing that throughout his constant yapping, he eventually does reveal his true opinions, and then you catch glimpses of it, and you realize he's a terminal piece of shit. Now, of course, I don't support any illegal activities, illegal orders, whatever. That's on a case-by-case basis, but according to Hasan, it's actually illegal to even go after actual criminals who are causing violence in the streets, so you can't really go by his definition there, obviously. And he will play defense for terrorists, so obviously this is concern trolling. He doesn't actually care. But I love how he says, just go to jail, you know? It'll be fine. This is the exact pathetic leader who does not practice what they preach at all, right? He wants you to actually go and do all of his dirty work, and then he just sits there, pretends to be a revolutionary from his mansion, right? You donate your money, you go to jail, you ruin your life, you do everything, and then he gets praised as the hero. That's how it works in communist utopia for Hasan. Then he says that you shouldn't be
100%. Not just donate your money. Donate it to Hasan. He'll take care of sending the money where it needs to go for you. Hint, it's Hasan's bank account. That's where he thinks that your money belongs.
afraid of prison because you already joined the military and signed up to die.
When you're in the military, you already exhibit a level of courage, right? You signed on to do battle. You signed on and you signed up to potentially get shot at. So you already have like a
Most of those guys are ready to get shot at too. Hopefully, you know, the best soldiers that we can create from here on out, and you know, stamp out the wokeness that the Biden-Harris administration created and screwed up for 4 years and ruined things. America is behind in several different military technologies, which I might do a video covering some of those later. But let's continue.
Existing level of courage built in to the structure of the military that you have to basically abide by, in which case it should be a much easier decision to just be like, at worst, I go to prison for a little bit. I don't immediately assume that just because someone's a veteran, they're a dog war criminal, monster, whatever.
Okay, again, just completely lying out of his ass again. We clearly saw him defending Froggen after she said that U.S. veterans should get
Why does he have to flashbang us with this horrible thing? I don't want to look at it.
PTSD and die. Literally, just a couple episodes ago, he was making fun of vets as well, calling them divorced dads. So he obviously does not respect the military at all. Even right here, he's like, oh yeah, you know, your life fucking sucks, so you might as well, right? So he thinks you're a piece of shit, you know, who should just go to jail, be locked.
There's tons of people who have created wondrous military careers out of them joining, and it's given their life purpose, meaning, and they do a lot for this country. And they sacrifice a lot of their time, sometimes a little bit of their sanity, because they're trying to figure out how to be a step ahead of the enemy. It's trying to figure out how to accomplish different battlefield strategies. They're exhausted, some of them.
Up or go die, right? And that is just horrible. That's just actually sad that he thinks that way, and he's this level of brainwashed. And this is what happens when you're so incredibly privileged. You're so incredibly privileged that you are detached from actual reality and how much you are, being protected from the consequences of, a world where a government doesn't exist and people don't exist to actually protect you. Now click this video for a packet of Chips Ahoy, baby. Yum, yum, yum. Okay.
Chips Ahoy, I love it. I love Cookie. Anyway, I've yapped enough for this video. My recorder just hit 59 minutes, so guess you get an hour-long video today. Enjoy, hope you've enjoyed it, as now you won't hear this part till the end of it. But, yeah, that wraps today's up. Refinery fire, huh? Maybe I'll have to peek that in my own time, because it's only 4 minutes. But anyway, goodbye.